A party atmosphere in the streets of the Azerbaijani capital as hundreds celebrates the military's advance into the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. 300 kilometers east, the front line of the conflict, and a very different story. Fighting has intensified across the ethnic Armenian breakaway territory in recent days, with heavy shelling destroying property in the capital Stepanakert. On Saturday, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev announced that Azeri forces had made several territorial gains that inflicted heavy casualties on the Armenia-backed separatist forces. Azerbaijan has accused those forces of indiscriminate attacks on military and civilian targets, a claim the separatists deny.
From inside Walter Reed Hospital, a message from the President.
I came here, wasn't feeling so well. I feel much better now. We're working hard to get me all the way back. I have to be back because we still have to make America great again. We've done an awfully good job of that.
And no regrets from Donald Trump, who was rushed to hospital late on Friday.
I just didn't want to stay in the White House. I was given that alternative. Stay in the White House, lock yourself in, don't ever leave, don't even go to the Oval Office. Just stay upstairs and enjoy it. Don't see people, don't talk to people, and just be done with it. And I can't do that. I had to be out front, and this is America. This is the United States.
But the White House message on the President's illness has been confused and incomplete. On Saturday morning, the doctors gave a briefing, but that raised questions of when the President was actually diagnosed. The President tweeted out the news early on Friday morning.
Few people who attended the Rose Garden event on September 26th wore masks, and the chairs were spaced close together. President Trump was announcing the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court, but as the guests mingled and chatted amongst themselves, the coronavirus was silently creeping through the air.
It is, for all intents and purposes, a super spreader event. We have multiple people that are infected there. Now we're seeing blossoming chains of transmission that probably emanate from there. So this will be something that will be recognized as a super spreader event when the story of COVID-19 is written.
At least 8 people who were there have now tested positive for COVID-19. Besides Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, they include Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee, who was seen hugging and interacting with other people, North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis, Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway, and an unidentified reporter covering the event.
Getting you some coronavirus updates from Russia now. Moscow is all set to impose strict COVID-19 restrictions following a sharp rise in COVID-19 infections. Russia reported 9,412 virus cases in the last 24 hours, which is perhaps the highest daily tally since June 12th. The mayor of the Russian capital, Sergei Sobyanin, has ordered an extension of the upcoming school holiday by a week in order to slow down the transmission of the virus.
The moment a house collapses into the river as floodwaters wash it away. Storm Alex struck the mountainous Alpes-Maritimes region, dumping almost a year's average rainfall in less than 12 hours. Saint-Martin-Vesubie hit the hardest by the storm as massive flooding washed away trees and large sections of the embankment on both sides of the river. The force of the raging waters of the Borneon River destroying a bridge, as well as tearing off the nearby electrical cables, causing a short circuit. A few seconds after the bridge collapsed, yet more trees swept away. Authorities say several people are missing, including 2 who are believed to have been lost when their house partially collapsed.
The country's biggest trade union federations are taking their fight to government. Both Cosatu and Fedusa are planning countrywide peaceful protests. This will happen, I understand, from Monday. They're protesting against wages and the breakdown of collective bargaining agreements with government.
They say the government is reneging when it comes to the wage deal agreement that was signed in 2018. We are in Pretoria at the Bargaining Council offices. This is where that deal was negotiated and signed. According to that deal, there was a wage agreement that was supposed to last for 3 years. But this past April, some public servants did not get their salary increases because the government says there is no money, they cannot afford, and now these trade unions are saying that is not fair.
For the second time in just 2 years, the tiny French territory of New Caledonia in the South Pacific will hold an independence referendum on Sunday. Last time, its 270,000 inhabitants voted to remain with France. But others point to the €1.5 billion subsidy the territory gets from France and say independence would be economically crippling. The referendum is part of a decolonisation plan which was designed to resolve fighting between the mostly pro-independence indigenous Kanak population and the descendants of European settlers known as Caldoche.
As the weather heats up, it appears snake activity is spiking across the southeast. For an Ipswich family, the venomous reptiles have come far too close for comfort. 2 male eastern browns fighting metres away from their doorstep.
A backyard brawl between 2 of the animal kingdom's most deadly.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
Eastern browns between 4 and 5 feet long, entangled and aggressive before one breaks free.
They're on the run. Watch where they go, bro.
Slithering at speed under Joe Spollen's Ipswich home, filming from his kitchen, apprehensive to venture outside.
I still am. I've seen a lot of snakes out this way, but never too like that, no.
So if there's one that has made it to 6 foot and he's as strong as an ox, he'll pull the other one down and the other one will go, OK, I submit, I'm going.
Capturing and relocating snakes across the southeast, Tony Harrison says September's been his busiest month on record, catching more than 240 snakes, 33 of them eastern browns.
The Bhim Army Chief, Chandrasekhar Azad, has been stopped en route to Hathras, where he was travelling to meet the family of the 20-year-old woman who was gang raped, allegedly, and murdered. Azad and his supporters were stopped at Aligarh, that's about 20 kilometres before Hathras. They are now continuing their journey on foot. Meanwhile, a massive congregation of around 500 upper caste men met in Hathras. The large congregation took place despite Section 144 being in place in the district and also COVID restrictions. At that meeting, men from the Thakur community demanded justice for the Hathras accused, claiming that they had been falsely implicated. The relatives of 3 of the accused have also attended this meeting.
Well, more than 750 students have tested positive for the coronavirus at Northumbria University in Newcastle. Almost all of them showed no symptoms. It's the biggest outbreak so far at any university in the UK.
Clive, if you talk to students in Newcastle tonight, you certainly get the impression that coronavirus is rife among the community. Everybody seems to know somebody who's got it. The slightly better news, though, is that the 770 Northumbria students who have tested positive, only something like 78 of them are showing symptoms at the moment. But you do get the feeling that there are many, many hundreds, if not thousands of students in this city who are having to stay behind closed doors at the moment and will do for some days yet.
T-minus 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we have engine ignition?
Engine start and liftoff. The SS Kalpna takes flight, sights set on the International Space Station. Pitch and roll programmer in. Engines at 100%. Attitude nominal, equal focus nominal.